cemetery with L.A. Marzulli.
More than that, yeah, more like 6th or 7th, I think. Yeah.
What are we looking for today?
Well, we really can't say, Brian. We want to just say one thing to the folks. So when we are here, we're extremely respectful of our environment. We're not here to raid or take anything, period. What we're interested in is to try to find out who the Paracas people really were. Mainstream archaeology tells us that, okay, the Paracas people were just part of the indigenous people. We're looking at them and saying, no, there are anomalies, not only in the skeleton, but in the pottery and the textiles, and even in the fruits that they may have migrated here from the Middle East. And of course, this ties into my whole hypothesis of the Nephilim. Specifically, the tribe we're focusing on is the Anakim, which means long necks. The morphology of the skull, the way it is shaped, we know that the foramen magnum, which basically the spinal column comes up like this, and in a normal human being, it's pretty much in the center of the skull underneath, and that's why our head moves and balances. With many of the Paracas skulls, the morphology is completely different. The foramen magnum is pushed all the way to the rear of the skull. We've gone to medical doctors with this. There's no way you can cradle headboard an infant and move with the foramen magnum or push back the back of the skull to the foramen magnum. We've seen some evidence where the foramen magnum has been literally, if it's another centimeter, it's outside the skull. So based on that, we feel that in order to balance the skull, these entities must have had a very long neck. Of course, this translates, Anakim translates long necks. Isn't that interesting? So we're here in Chongos, and it's always amazing to be here once again, and I thank Brian Forrester and the late Senior Juan for taking me here the first time in 2014.
So, as L.A. was saying, technically we are allowed to be here. We got permission from the keeper of this site to be able to come. We haven't come to do anything but observe. This is the area where the largest elongated skulls in the world have been found. Only here, nowhere else. There are a lot of different examples of cranial deformation amongst the ancient Paracas people, but it's in this location where we found some, or some have been found, that are in museums which appear to be natural in form. And so if we can see any artifacts that we can film, not take, then that'll make it a good day. So in this area is where elongated skulls were found, but not the vertical cone heads, ones which actually sweep backwards. So that's two different styles of elongated skulls found in this specific area. So, working with the Ministry of Culture of Peru, head archaeologist Ruben Soto, DNA testing will be done of elongated skulls from the collection of the Ica Regional Museum coming up. It's a very complicated process. It's taken us 28 months to actually get the samples, but they will be sent to the United States for detailed DNA analysis at 2 of the top laboratories on the planet. So this cemetery goes on for miles. You have a very specific area where the Paracas people were buried. Then you have another area where the Inca people were buried. Another area for the Chincha people. So Senior Juan, the late Senior Juan Navarro, believed that this cemetery went on for maybe 6 kilometers. That's a huge population of people buried in this area.